And to figure that out, we use what Forrester calls the POST methodology. And it's really a great way to articulate your strategy. To understand the problem or the opportunity, you have to first gather intelligence. Part of that is understanding trends like we've been discussing here. But a critical component is assessing what your people need. Based on that, you can establish objectives for the strategy that you can measure against. And with knowledge of that, with knowledge of what your people need and what your objectives are, you can start to create the action plan, the strategy itself. The last component, the very last component of which is selecting and implementing the right technology. But first, video conferencing strategy starts with people, with bringing the right people to the table, the right IT stakeholders, if you want to deliver an experience that's integrated with the rest of the technology toolkit, and the right business stakeholders to get their advice and their buy-in if you want to drive video conferencing into your culture as the way your company communicates. But most critical to this list of stakeholders is employees. You want to get information on what employees are doing today, what they might do differently if you gave them the chance, what would motivate them to change their behavior, to use video more. Part of your intelligence gathering process should be looking at the current utilization of video technology. Is collaboration tool adoption in your organization overall low, or is it just video that goes unused, for instance? On this slide, we have data gathered from information workers, that is, workers who use a computer in their jobs in North America and Europe. And our data shows that over 40% of information workers use web conferencing, and over 30% use video chat on their desktops for work, although not everyone uses these technologies every day. So you can benchmark yourself or look at what other organizations are doing and ask yourself, is our adoption of these technologies above or below average? When looking at data, it's also important, or it's interesting, I would say, to look at what devices people are using it on. Our data shows that tablets are just as popular as PCs for web conferencing, and actually even more so for video chat. So looking at the data, you probably want to consider a video or web conferencing technology that works well on tablets because of adoption on that device is rising. But one of the most critical things to look at when assessing people's needs are what are the current pain points with using video? Why aren't workers using it? And you can see from this chart here, the light blue shade, a third of workers who don't use video say that they don't use it because they don't see the value. Nearly half, however, the dark blue shade, say they don't have access to it. And what we found from helping companies with video and other collaboration initiatives is that employees often don't know what they already have or what's available to them. So again, I emphasize that you should focus on the needs of your people through interviewing, through research, ideally through data gathered from logs or reporting systems or by surveying users. Find out if the issues in your environment are ease of use, education about what's available or how to use it, and potentially giving them access on their mobile devices.